John Brickley in the studio. Underway in Atlanta, Cubs and the Braves. You can catch that game on the ESPN app. That'll move over to ESPN following the White Sox and the Indians. Back to you, Ravi.
Hi, Brick. Thanks for keeping us updated on that one. Again, top line for the White Sox and the Indians. Nova and Clevenger, 14 innings and 16 Ks between them and 1 run. Clevenger gave up 1 hit. And look at both bullpens. 3 earned runs, 4 runs total for the White Sox, and the Indians not much better at all, giving up 3. Now you have faith in this guy, Brad Hand. You look at the strikeouts, the walks. He converted 32 of 39 save opportunities last year. So Francona postgame would be, well, we got it to the bullpen and we got it to the ninth, just not the way we thought we'd get it to the ninth.
Maybe, I mean, at the end, this is the guy that you want in there. Hand struck out 100 each of the last 3 years. He's one of only 2 that can say that coming out of the bullpen. Terry Francona is looking on at who is his closer this year, without a doubt. And yes, this is the position they want to get him into. It just took a little bit different route than maybe they thought it would.
Exactly. Wellington Castillo leading off, and he is quickly behind 0-2 on a 90 then 92 mile-an-hour fastball. This is the right part of the order for any closer. And the Indian faithful, who sold the place out at the start, many of them still hanging around. The Yankees are in action tonight. Rick will keep you posted on that one. Miguel Andujar hurt, 10-day injured list. Stanton 10-day injured list, and a series loss to the Orioles. So not the start that Yankee Nation wanted. We'll get you updates of that during the Dodgers Cubs game. That one misses badly. Did it hit him? It did.
Yeah, I don't think it missed Castillo.
Not the start that Brad Hand wanted. Tying run quickly comes to the plate as Castillo gets hit by a pitch.
They got him 0-2 on 2 straight fastballs, then came back with 2 breaking balls. That one, just clips the front foot.
So thought bubble, Terry Francona right there. What's the thought bubble?
I don't know if there's much thought after that one. I mean, I think maybe you're numb to thought at this point a little bit. Kind of numb to everything right now.
Temperatures never got out of the 30s here, but would make for a lot warmer clubhouse if you can close this thing out in the home opener. Yolmer Sanchez first pitch, strike 1, just like he started off Wellington Castillo. Greg Allen's gone into right field. Last inning, Max Maroff came in at second base as a replacement. Jam shot towards the right field line. Allen goes after it. It's foul. And again ahead 0-2. Unless they go to the bench, Rondon and Engel both looking for their first hits of the season. On deck. 0-2 to Yolmer Sanchez. And this one to right center field. And it's Martin over there for the first out. One down in the ninth. Jose Rondon. Fourth at bat of the season, 2 strikeouts. Adam Engel on deck. Tying run still at the plate here, and Rondon down 2. Right down the middle for a strike.
First 3 hitters that Hand has faced, it's been first pitch fastball for all of them. And the one thing he hasn't done, I mean, that has been probably the most hittable pitch in all 3 at bats.
Yeah. Breaking the ball at 80 in there for a strike. Brad Hand came over last year along with Adam Simber in a trade 3 weeks into July with the Padres. And he's in line now. If the Indians do win a bunch of games, he's going to have a lot more than 32 saves, because he is the option. Misses inside at 92. Since 2016, Brad Hand ranked second to Dylan Betances. A 2.60 ERA in the 225 games he was in. 322 strikeouts. So in spite of the lack of real velocity, he's a strikeout guy with that type of pitch.
He's punched out at least 100 out of the bullpen the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's not the 97, 98. I mean, there's a little bit more on the fastball sometimes than this. And it's just 2 pitches. It's fastball, breaking ball. He comes at you with both and throws them each about 50-50. 2-2 right here. Earlier in this at bat, he threw fastball inside to Rondon, and he didn't want it there. I think it's a good place to go back to.
Called strike 3. Down and in. And they are 1 out away from winning the home opener.
The hitter's reaction will a lot of times on a pitch that they don't go after will tell you what they like and what they don't like. And earlier in the at bat, it set this pitch up right there. That's not even inside corner.
No.
But on a fastball that was just off the plate in, Rondon didn't want it there. He really moved off the plate. This time at a big spot, they go back fastball inside and get the exact same reaction. It felt like if he could hit that spot, he wasn't even going to get a swing. It's exactly what happened.
Last hope, Adam Engel for the White Sox. Adam Engel hit 166 in 2017. He hit 230 last year. And you're behind 2-0 to the number 9 hitter. Cubs and Braves are on deck and currently on the ESPN app. Tough pitch, 2-2. And now 1 strike away from winning the home opener.
And for Engel, that 2-0 is the one you had to get. I mean, the 2-0 was a center cut fastball. The 2-1 was exactly the spot that Hand wanted to throw. And now he can go a few different ways. Go to the breakable to try to finish him off, or fastball to Engel that he's thrown 2 straight.
All the umpires in the stands had that as a strike, and there are a lot of umpires in the stands today. But instead we go full. Runner will be moving. Moncada's on deck. Brad Hand's trying to convert his 2nd save opportunity of the season. Perez says bring the heater in. It is location, but it's fouled off. We had donuts on the board for the first 5.5 innings. Bottom of the 6th, the Indians broke through with 1. And then the doors opened to the bullpens, and we had 7 runs plated in the 8th inning.
The 4 walks in the Indians' half of the 8th by the White Sox bullpen's the one that they're going to come back and kick themselves the most. A leadoff walk, and then they walked in 2 runs and ended up being the go-ahead runs.
Stays alive. Castillo jogs back to first base. Moncada hoping like heck he can get another chance. He had a big single and an RBI as part of the 8th inning, in which the White Sox went ahead. Also saw a pinch hit home run from Ryan Cordell. There's the Indians win the home opener, and Brad Hand picks up another save. The final score 5-3 Cleveland.
Pretty good work. It took a little bit different route to get to Brad Hand. 2 strikeouts in the finale, and the Indians win their home opener.
Clevenger was outstanding. He struck out 12, allowed just 1 hit. 5-3 our final with Kyle Peterson. I'm Carl Ravitch. Spook Shambi, David Ross, Tim Kirkchin in Atlanta, guys.
All right, we welcome those of you that just watched the Indians defeat the White Sox on ESPN. Ravi, KP, thanks very much. Here at SunTrust Park in Atlanta, a cool night, but a pretty night, and it is 58 degrees. The Braves home opener, the defending National League Eastern Division champs. Almora swings through that one. John Shambi, Tim Kirkchin, and David Ross with you. And Albert Almora Jr. up here at the plate. He'll start in center field. Good defender. David, this guy made some adjustments during the spring, trying to add a little more thump to his game.
Yes, definitely trying to drive the ball a little bit more. Been a guy that's had a lot of success off left-handers. Why he's leading off tonight for the Cubs. Struggled some against righties and platoon. Going to get a little more action this year off both with the absence of Ian Happ.
Newcomb back to work. And there's the pitch, Tim Kirkchin, that's going to be pretty crucial for Newcomb. He's got to be able to throw that curveball for a strike.
Right, and he's got to throw his fastball for strikes too. He has the best stuff on the staff, without a doubt. But if he doesn't get his arm slot right with the fastball and the curveball, he's going to walk the house again like he did several times last year.
Well, if you notice right there, Brian McCann, first of all, seeing him back behind the plate for Atlanta is pretty awesome. But set up right down the middle on a 2-2 count. Don't get back to that leverage count for the hitter at 3-2. Wants to be aggressive, want to pound the zone. We talked to Snip before the game. Brian Snicker wants this guy to be aggressive in the zone.
7th pitch of the at-bat. Left field, Acuna drifting back and puts the squeeze on it. So Newcomb gets the first out. Welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. Hello there. John Shambi, Tim Kirkchin, David Ross. I like the sweater. It's a nice look for you.
Right. I was a little chilly, so I went with the kind of the V-neck with the light blue matching the blue. I mean, my game's on points. What I got, Timmy?
The last game I did here,
Yes.
I was sitting next to Hank Aaron on my right.
Oh.
And now I've got Rossi on my right. Well, I would
You're
call
welcome.
that a giant step down, wouldn't you?
The OPS has declined significantly to your right, Tim.
We just lost 653 homers.
Fly ball right field. Diving Markakis can't get it. And Bryant's off to the races. Enciarte will track it down. It'll end up being a double, but the Gold Glover not able to make the play on that one, kind of a do-or-die play. And on that one, he died.
Yeah, Markakis playing deep in right. Chris Bryant just gets one to fall in a little bit. Nice effort by Markakis right here. Just gets by him. Tries to get underneath that baseball, just not carrying to right the way Chris Bryant hit it. Nice effort by Markakis.
So a double. And Bryant into scoring position. The Cubs in that 3-game series against the Rangers had all kinds of base runners. I mean, it just did not stop. Here's Rizzo now.
They just couldn't stop the Rangers either.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if you follow the Cubs, that's something that they've really been emphasizing, is just turn it over to the next guy. They need that lineup. It's such a deep lineup when guys are having the at-bats and trusting the guy behind them. So that was a really good sign if you're a Cubs fan.
Cubs and Dodgers, something that both those clubs emphasized this spring, just a little better situational approach. And of course now the Dodgers, just all they do is hit home runs. So
right.
let's concentrate. 2 outs, men in scoring position, bang, and yeah.
8 home runs opening day. I mean, that's getting off to a good start, I think. You're feeling sexy as a team when you do that.
For the Cubs last year, there was some feast or famine to them. You go back to last season, I find this hard to believe with guys like Bryant and Rizzo, but they scored none or won 39 times, most in the majors.
Hard to believe. I think a lot of guys, especially in the second half, they were down. You got an injured Chris Bryant. Wilson Contreras was a shell of himself, an all-star in the first half, and wasn't the guy they expect him to be in the second half, and pressing a little bit.
Rizzo pops it up, Newcomb pointing, and it'll be Freeman to pull it down on the 3-0 pitch.
I like the 3-0 swing here. I mean, you got left on left. You know you're in a leverage count. This is your guy. But this is what we're talking about. We want to get that, or the Cubs want to get these guys to see more pitches and turn it over to the next guy. Rizzo thought that was right in his wheelhouse as a deceptive guy, and Newcomb just pulled off that one. It looks like a little bit to get underneath it.
Yeah, it started in the zone and then cut away. At 3-0, you want something that gives you a chance to barrel it up a little bit more, right?
A little more four seam, yeah. And that's why this guy's so deceptive and so good when he's in the zone. The ball has a little bit of that crossfire. He's going to pitch mainly into righties, and that ball can barrel in on you in the same away to lefties.
Baez swinging and missing, and there's that heater from the big lefty.
Right, and Baez swinging at the first pitch. What a surprise.
Shocker.
Shocking development.
Breaking news.
Put that on the crawl underneath, right? Second to Christian Yelich. What a year he had, and the versatility. He can play all over the infield and gives you plus defense. The 0-1.
And that's why he's so important. He's the best second baseman in the league, basically, but they need him to play shortstop now because he's the best shortstop on the team, too. If we did a skills competition for any infielder in the big leagues, he would win. And he was in the home run hitting contest.
He's pretty amazing.
Right now, Addison Russell, the suspension for violating the domestic violence policy of Major League Baseball.
Tell you what's fun, when he was down at second or short when I was still catching, being a catcher and that runner goes, you can just throw it down there as fast as you possibly can and let a guy like that do his magic down there.
One of the things that's interesting in terms of those hands, and I asked him about it, and he said it does have something to do with it. He did grow up a lefty. He is someone that grew up left-handed, and so he said he thinks it aids him in terms of his ability to really be good with the glove and put tags down. The 1-2.
No doubt about that, Boog. He eats and writes with his left hand. That's what Brooks Robinson does, by the way. Larry Bird does that. Eats and writes with their left hand. So it's a dexterous hand, and it makes that glove hand work even better because he eats and writes with it.
Well, now I'm going home and tying my son's right hand behind his back for the rest of the week. That's for sure.
Davey Johnson saw Brooks Robinson write and eat with his left hand, and he said, I'm going to do that for a year to see if I can be a better second baseman. He said, it didn't work at all, but I had to try.
I tell you what, Javi Baez, if you're around him and you guys watching all the things you're saying, but probably one of the most instinctual baseball players I've ever been around, about seeing the game in such a slow motion, whether it's tags or base running or hitting. This guy is able to slow the game down very, very well.
He had a delayed steal yesterday in Texas that was so beautiful. He's the only guy in the league that could pull that off because he's watching the game.
Sounded like he broke his bat as that went the other way. And Baez will march back, pointing and saying, yeah, I need a new piece of lumber. David Ross, you get a chance to be around Baez a lot in spring. You work with the Cubs, and when you look at the product that he is now, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it as well, right? I mean, he is determined in terms of the defensive work that he does, etc.
Well, he wants to be a star, right, which he is, and He's working all positions. Listen, you put him at third, he's the best third baseman I've ever seen. Like him and Adrian Beltre, these kind of guys in the same category. I loved when he played third when John Lester pitched, because I knew we were going to pound righties in, and this guy is one of the best defenders I've ever seen.
Reaches out, pokes that one right field. Markakis sprinting in, and he's got it. Newcomb pitches around the double. The Braves will come up to hit. It's their home opener in Atlanta.
What comes with a $1 soft drink from McDonald's? $1 any size soft drink. Joy included.
Squatch. Remarkable. Pleased to meet you.
On April 12th,
I'm lonely. Can you help me find my family? We will find your place.
Hugh Jackman,
Missing link.
Zoe Saldana,
Follow me.
and Zach Galifianakis
I think I need some air. Crack open the window. Dope. Oh, that's better.
invite you to experience a comedy of epic proportions.
A monster! That is going to let in an awful draft.
Missing Link, rated PG.
What comes with a $1 soft drink from McDonald's? $1 any size soft drink. Joy included.
I'm as real as they come, and I won't stop till my spot's number one.
OKC's dynamic duo continue their push to the playoffs. Thunder Timberwolves, Sunday on ABC.
Welcome back to opening week baseball on ESPN. Our telecast presented by USAA. Back here in Atlanta, SunTrust Park. They get the Tomahawk Chop going. And let's check out Brian Snitker's lineup. The Braves a season ago 4th in the league in runs per game. They have Enciarte up top. Donaldson, the free agent signing, will hit second. But the guy who's been the consistent anchor in their lineup now for a while, Freddie Freeman, a guy who can hit for some power, a great pure hitter, and has turned into a very good defender as well. And that lineup will go up against Kyle Hendricks. A season ago was off to a pretty good start, and then once July came, really kicked it into gear, finished with a 3.44 ERA, and now he's rich. 4 years, $55 million, the extension, signed it on March 26th. Did I deliver that okay?
I like money. Yeah, that's good. He's rich.
And now he's rich. Here's Enciarte.
And as we know, he's got a great changeup. But Joe Madden told us before the game he started throwing that curveball for a strike much more this spring. If he can drop that curveball in, it's going to make him even better.
Enciarte lifts one down the left side. Long run, Zagunis coming on, and he can't make the play. A former catcher converted to the outfield. Not a great defender. And wasn't able to hold that one in.
Yeah, Mark's definitely out there for his bat versus left-handers. Nice effort here. Just overruns it a hair, tries to slow down. Can't slow that head down. When you start putting on the brakes, the head starts to shake a little bit. You see him just miss that ball. Wasn't able to run on his toes. They say, you know, we've always taught run on your toes as an outfielder. I don't know what that's like, Timmy. Us catchers, we're not real graceful. That's why they keep us back behind the dish.
That's hammered right field. Hayward on the move. He'll turn. He'll watch. Out of here. Ender Enciarte makes the most of the error by Zagunis, and it is 1-0 Atlanta.
It's funny how this game works out. An error here on Zagunis, and then Enciarte makes him pay. You see a change up here, just stays middle, starts middle in, and Enciarte does not move it. Watch these hands just fly through the zone, speeds him up, That's a good two-strike approach and sends it to the right center field seats.
So now it's Donaldson. John Shelby, Tim Kirkchin, David Ross. So happy to have you with us on a Monday night in Atlanta. Look out.
Souvenir on opening day here at home.
Indeed.
Ain't better now, and he's missing some teeth.
Josh Donaldson up here. And Ciarte with the home run.
Of course, Donaldson was their big free agent sign of the offseason. 1 year, $23 million. They're really counting on him to bring some offense. A little bit of a slow start, but he's still a really good hitter.
Line to left. They had the shift on. Didn't matter. So a home run and now a single, and back to the studio, and here's John Britton.
Mets and Marlins, Boog in South Beach. This game on ESPN Plus. Starlin Castro facing off with Steven Matz, and Castro wins that battle. A two-run shot, his first of the season. Marlins on top in the first. Castro's former team, the Yankees and Tigers, underway. Gary Sanchez going yard in back-to-back games, but the bigger story, Boog, for the Bombers, the news of Miguel Andujar and Giancarlo Stanton both heading to the injured list.
First the Mets, then the Yankees. Andujar and Stanton on the disabled list. Sanchez homers, so the Yankees a little beat up right now.
I think they can get through that. They hit Troy Tulowitzki 9th on opening day, and DJ LeMahieu didn't even play.
I don't think they're going to struggle for offense.
They chant for Freddie Freeman. You see the shift on. That's Bryant in between Bodie and Rizzo. So the tall third baseman on the right side stuck in that hole over there, and only Baez on the left side. It's a Cubs team that doesn't shift all that frequently.
Kind of interesting, because Joe Madden kind of started all the shifting with the Rays.
But Freeman is a guy that you see teams shift against.
I remember asking Chipper Jones, like, who's going to replace you as the star of this team? And he looked at me and goes, have you seen Freddie Freeman? Yeah. Like, he knew immediately with the way this guy could use the whole field and his understanding of the strike zone. He said, this kid's going to be a star, and he's been right.
Center field. Now Morris started in, now back. Donaldson will bluff a tag. And there's one out.
Yeah, I remember having some conversations with Brian McCann when Jason Hayward and Freddie Freeman were young here, and we used to have some baseball conversations, and you could tell from day one, Freddie Freeman, simple setup, no stride, and his swing path, he was going to be good for a really long time, and just continue to develop and grow into that big body he has, and man, is he one of my favorite guys to watch hit.
And this is one of my favorite guys to watch hit now.
Just
He's
like
impressive, isn't he?
Just like all of us when we were 21. Give me a break. National League Rookie of the Year a season ago. Now time for planning ahead, brought to you by Voya Financial. I think it would be good to plan ahead and expect this guy to be in the MVP race every year. Last year, rookie ranks third in average, first in homers, RBIs, runs, tied for first in WAR. He was sensational. And that's considering he didn't break camp with the team, and he missed a good chunk of time with both knee and back injuries.
Impressive, fun to watch. How often do we see a guy that gets all the hype and come up and not live up to it? When you see guys live up to that hype in such a young age, it's so rewarding and fun to be a part of and watch.
Well, you know, Tim, you were talking about Chipper Jones. in January of last year, they asked Chipper Jones about Acuna, so that's before the season started, and he said within 2 to 3 years he will be one of the 5 best players in baseball.
Wow.
And he's on that path right now.
I asked Brian McCann about him this spring. I said, tell me about him. He goes, he has a chance to be as good as anyone who's ever played. That's where he's headed if he continues at this rate.
Talking to Ender Inciarte when I was in Philadelphia over the weekend, and he said he was so hyped up. And then he came and I saw him, and he was way better than everyone said. That's saying a lot. Good eye right there.
I remember the first BP he took last spring. First time I'd really got a good look at him. The second week he took, he had a line drive to left center. And you just said, okay, there it is. There's the sound. There's the velocity. There's the distance. You said, there's the swing I needed to see to understand who he is.
Donaldson on the go as Acuna fouls it off.
We were talking about fun opening day moments the other day, and this same series that we have here on a young player like Acuna. But Jason Hayward came up when I was with the Braves and had all this hype, and this young, phenomenal player that you didn't know if he was going to live up to it, and he did it in this series off Carlos Zambrano opening day, hit a leadoff home run. His first at bat was one of the funnest things I've ever been a part of on an opening day, and this whole series has taken me back to that moment.
It was an absolute blast. The neat thing, I told you about this and I confirmed it, because he was a rookie, they're not allowed to sell a player's jersey until he's played in an official big league game, and he hit the home run early in the game. Well, people were going to buy his jersey. They had to wait until the middle of the 5th to buy his jersey. Here's that home run, April 5th, 2010 for Jason Hayward facing Carlos Zambrano, and he got all of it. I mean,
that's
deep into the bullpen.
Yeah, that's a bomb.
And everyone was looking to try and get number 22 jerseys, and it was, hang on, we got to wait till the game's official, and he's officially a member of the Players Union, and then you can buy the jersey. So 2 on, and with 1 out, Inciarte, the solo homer to make it 1-0 Braves. And Nick Markakis. Curveball for a strike. Back to the studio in Brick.
Boog, the Jays starting pitching had not allowed a run in 24 innings entering tonight. That changed thanks to Sean Reed-Foley. Jonathan Villar, the 2-run home run. Orioles have tacked on 2 more. What a start for Baltimore, up 4-0.
Not that. They go into the Bronx and take 2 of 3 from the Yankees. This to first. There's Rizzo. That's 1. And that one thrown away. It hits the screen. And racing around in to score is Josh Donaldson on the errant throw. And that makes it 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like Javi Baez trying to make a little something happen here. Anthony Rizzo does a good job of staying back on that ball, and Javi trying to rush it a little bit, getting a fast runner, Markakis. You see here, trying to get a little more on it, and just throws it away. Anytime we rush, that front side flies open, that arm angle drops, and the ball tends to sail on us. Javi trying to just make a little something happen there, and turns out to help out the Braves.
So now it's Ozzie Albies. Switch hitter. Gets backed away. That actually, according to our K-zone, clipped the upper portion of the strike zone. But it was called a ball. There it is, the block of cheese, Rossi. Got it. Cheese. That's what I think of it as being. Whatever. It can be cheddar, Alpine lace, whatever. Baez out. Oh my goodness. And that ends up falling, and everybody's safe. That was weird. Baez made the call, but then hesitated because I think he sensed Zagunis coming on.
I think he had it off the bat, knowing, hey, I got a good beat on this. Javi likes to get these balls hustles out. He tells him right there, tells Zagunis, I got it, and then sees it's in the air a lot longer than he expected. Zagunis had already shut it down, knowing Baez had called it off. An experienced left fielder's got to call him off there. That's his ball, even though Javi said, I got it.
Joe Madden stresses defense as much as any manager, and they made 3 mistakes here in the first inning.
Listen to that cheer for Brian McCann.
Really cool. Brian McCann, his first plate appearance back in Atlanta. Lines one into center field, and it'll fall for a hit. 1 run is in. Albie's in to score. Welcome home, Brian McCann. It's 4-0 Atlanta.
We think the excitement here. Brian McCann's going to be aggressive. First time back in Atlanta, hometown hero. Change up here, he stays to it. Look how he reaches and finishes with that backside, that backhand throwing, that backside hand towards the baseball and staying all the way through that changeup. Extremely tough pitch. Pays off there, throwing it into center field for a 2-out RBI. 2-out RBI, excuse me.
I talked to Brian in spring training, and he looked at me and he said, you know, we always talk about, you know, who won the offseason, which team won the offseason. He said, I won the offseason. Because he got a chance to come back here and play.
And I want to make one point, Timmy, I'll direct this towards you. I'm curious, but on that play, on that pop-up to left field, it's a good example why, from an official scoring standpoint, there has to be a team error. Because I don't know who you charge it to, but that pop-up has to be caught. That's not a hit. That's an error. But I'm not willing to give it to Baez or Zagunis. Somebody's got to take it. It's an error.
Unquestionably. Look, I've been an official scorer. It's really hard to do, but we need to change the system to allow an error to be called on a ball that simply has to be caught by somebody. And if you can't figure it out, you determine a team error or something. The pitcher should not be punished on that play.
I like it.
Braves have jumped out on Hendricks 4-0. Swanson swings through that one. 58 degrees at first pitch. The Braves home opener. John Shambi, Tim Kirkchin, and David Ross, thanks for joining us on a Monday night. We'll be with you again on Wednesday night. And by the way, still to come, the Giants and the Dodgers. That'll be at 10 Eastern.
Dave Fleming will be calling that game. He left our game last night at 7:02. He was on the airplane at 7:24. He was certain he was going to miss the flight, but Ivan got him on time to the airport at 22 minutes. A miracle.
Ivan Sokolsky is amazing. Broken bat towards the hole. Baez from the grass. Long throw in time. Inning over. Some poor Cubs defense, some timely Braves hitting, but it started with the Inciarte home run. 4-0 Braves.
How do we tell people they get the best of both worlds with Sprint?
How about we get two-sport legend Bo Jackson?
So, guys, you don't need me. Just tell people they get a great network and a great price with Sprint.
Yes, you can get an unlimited plan and the super cool all-new Samsung Galaxy S10e for just $35 a month on an LTE advanced network that's up to 2 times faster than before.
Bo does know.
Switch and get an unlimited plan with the new Galaxy S10e lease included for just $35 per month. No trade-in required.
Oh, wow. You two are going to have such a great trip.
Yeah, have fun.
Thanks to you, we will. Aw, stop.
This is why Voya helps reach today's goals.
All while helping you to and through retirement.
You guys are just going for a week, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you help with these?
Oh, we're more of the plan, invest, and protect kind of help.
Sorry, little pause.
Right.
So, but have fun.
Send a postcard. Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
Sesame and ginger. How did Subway know it's what I wanted? Thank you.
Are you mob? Get set. Let's go. It goes.
It's all right, huh?
NBA superstar.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar. Get more out of zero.
Well, first inning, things got uncomfortable quickly for the Cubs. Some poor defense. Zagunis not able to make the play, and then Baez rushing, flies open, throws it away.
A little bit of miscommunication here in left field. You got a veteran shortstop trying to make the play, a rookie left fielder really unsure a little bit, and then Brian McCann comes up with a big hit. A lot of costly errors there for the Cubs.
You've been around Kyle Hendricks. How much does stuff like that get under his skin relative to other pitchers?
Zero. I mean, this guy knows. He continues to, his heartbeat never changes. I've seen him almost no-hit a team, and it seems like he walks off game 6 against the Dodgers and like just as cool as calm, and he's going to be the same way if things bad are happening behind him. He's going to continue to try to make pitches and do what he can to help the team. He has a real good perspective on, he knows guys are giving their best and some errors are going to happen. You know, he's one of those rare pitchers that just try to continue to not let things affect him.
Contreras up here to be Contreras, then Bodie, then Hayward against this big left-hander. For Sean Newcomb, the bottom line is got to throw strikes. Same for the Braves staff. Guys, go back to last year. They were tied with the White Sox for highest walk rate in the majors. That was a real problem. And just allowing that many base runners, and that makes things difficult inning in and inning out. And there's a walk.
Well, I tell you what would drive you absolutely crazy. I was just thinking with that 3-1 count. Your team goes out and puts up a 4 spot in the first inning when you hadn't been scoring a whole lot of runs and you're winless so far early in the season, and you go out and walk the leadoff hitter. That stuff will drive a manager and your teammates, and especially the catcher, crazy.
And the Braves recently charted 10 straight fastballs that Newcomb threw, and his arm slot was in 6 different places for 10 fastballs. That cannot happen. Not with that pitch. You're not going to throw strikes if you're doing that.
Here's David Bodie now getting to start at second base, even though I think most people looked at him, saw him as a third baseman last year. Second is where he first came up playing. He actually could play some short as well.
He's actually the backup shortstop right now with Addison Russell gone, and if anything happens to Javi, he played some shortstop in spring training and felt really comfortable there.
Yeah, Addison Russell suspended right now, as we mentioned, for violating the domestic violence policy, Major League Baseball. He's eligible to come back early May. And Bodie, his versatility, and he can swing it. He hits the ball hard, period.
When he came up for his Major League debut, Joe Madden, big music guy, said, you got to do a David Bowie song since your name is David Bodie. And then he found out that David Bodie is deeply religious and does a lot of spiritual stuff. And he said, all right, maybe we shouldn't go with David Bowie.
Let's take a look at StatCast AI. It's powered by AWS. How about highest percentage of hard hit balls last season? Miguel Cabrera 1, Aaron Judge 2, Luke Voit number 3, and David Bodie number 4. A hard hit ball, by the way, by definition, is anything 95 miles an hour or harder in terms of exit velo. Broke his bat and flared one into center. And Bodie with the single. 2 on, nobody out. Back to the studio and John Brickley.
And Boog, let's go back to the Mets and the Marlins. Miami started off this game with a 2-run home run thanks to Starlin Castro in the second. Jeff McNeil, an RBI double for the Mets. He's been batting .500 on the season. This game available on ESPN Plus with the Marlins up 2-1 in the bottom of the second. Meanwhile, Tigers and the Yankees. Gary Sanchez started things off with a home run for New York. Greg Bird adding to the total for the Yankees. The error that would allow the second run to score for a Yankees team trying to put that opening series against the Orioles behind them. 2-0 New York leaves this one bottom 3, Boog.
All right, Brick, thanks. That is a Yankees team that should score a lot of runs. Broken bat, gloved by the pitcher. There's one, there's two. 1-6-3, exactly what Newcomb was looking for, 2 away.
And love this here, Rossi. He threw that ball hard to second. Instead of babying that or aiming that, he let it go and threw a strike to second on this.
I love it, too. Got rid of it quick, too. So you got a speedy runner in Hayward. Really nice athleticism by Newcomb on the mound right there.
One of the things you go back to last year, we talked about the walks, but Alex Anthopoulos in his first year, one of his big intents was to get this team to play better defense, and they played really good defense. They went from 23rd in the majors in defensive run saves, the Braves did, to 4th. So they became an elite defense, and for Ron Washington, who's considered one of the best defensive instructors, he had a big impact on that guy, Dansby Swanson, out at short.
And nobody made that play better than Greg Maddux. And Walt Weiss told me that Maddux never threw a straight pitch in his life. But on the 1-6-3 double play, he threw the greatest, most true four-seamer ever, because that's what Greg Maddux could do.
Yeah, a great fielder.
Great everything.
Fair enough.
He's really good at it all.
I'm a little weary when people say Kyle Hendricks reminds us of Greg Maddux, which of course he does. There are some similarities, but Greg Maddux is one of the 5 greatest pitchers of all time. He won 355 games with a ridiculously low ERA and everything else.
2-1 to Hendricks, a lifetime 091 hitter. And Newcomb misses upstairs, and now they count 3 balls and a strike. Man at third, 2 down. A generous call from Gary Cederstrom right there. The crew chief and veteran behind the plate tonight. And Newcomb a 3-2. He missed and he walked him.
So Rossi, as a catcher, your pitcher walks the other pitcher who's an 091 hitter. It must drive you crazy behind the plate.
Yeah, it drives you a little crazy, but we got this saying, it's like, if they knew where I was going, they wouldn't have got the 3 balls, right? Like, these guys, you know, sometimes they let off the gas a little bit, or you see them let down, then you can jump them as a catcher. But when the guy's giving his all, he just doesn't have it, and then that's something that Newcomb struggles with, a little bit of his fastball command. It just is going to happen every once in a while. It does drive you crazy, though.
But some guys, you know, I think we have a tendency, probably we're most guilty of it in the broadcast booth, you know, saying stuff like he lost concentration or what. But the reality is that statistically, Sean Newcomb has shown he cannot throw the ball where he wants to throw the ball consistently.
Yeah.
So it's not as if he doesn't know Kyle Hendricks is up there and he's not trying to pipe a fastball. He just can't do it.
No, for sure. And Newcomb's case, that was my point. But I've seen pitchers that kind of let off the gas and take a little miles an hour off, and they lose that feel. They lose their rhythm on the mound a little bit, that lack of concentration, or just a little bit of the aggressiveness is what I've seen in my career. But that's definitely not the case with Sean. I was just thinking to myself, 3-2 there. Kyle Hendricks, a below 200 hitter, and the chance of him getting a hit there, he might as well take. It's a better chance of him.
I was going to say he might even be straight taking.
If you're playing the numbers, I'm taking.
Yeah. 2-1 to Zagunis now. Maybe a little anxious in that spot. Zagunis, a former 3rd-round pick out of Virginia Tech. He's one of those, and forgive me for this, but kind of a classic Moneyball type of guy. You look at his minor league numbers, 276 in the minor leagues average, 400 the on base, 415 the slug. He obviously has a real good idea to strike zone. Right there, caught looking, and Newcomb freezes him. Cubs not able to get on the board. It's still 4-0.
We all dream about our next vacation, but some of us turn those dreams into action. The bookers, the that confirmation button and let's goers. Because bookers know that the perfect place to stay is right there for the booking. Be a booker at Booking.com. The world's #1 choice for booking accommodations.
Where are we gonna go to school now?
I'm gonna find you somewhere real nice.
Not gonna have black kids going to Tim's school.
Talking about home. What you so afraid of? I stopped fighting when there ain't nothing left to fight for.
The best of enemies. Rated PG-13.
March Madness got you doing the what just happened whale? Pick up a pepperoni stuffed pizzone. That's right, people. It's back. Now part of the $5 lineup from Pizza Hut. Official pizza of March Madness.
Question, what are you expecting from your team the first few games? Any predictions for this season?
Yeah, we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Es un honor estar aquí en Grandes Ligas.
We're going to have a good team. We're excited.
We're going to win this World Series and the next one.
Oh, y la próxima. Supongo que nos veremos en octubre.
28 World Series championship sounds pretty nice, doesn't it?
How many were you a part of?
I remember winning my first ring.
I only got room for 9 more.
0.0 ERA.
Nice. Sabes que no eres un superhéroe de verdad.
I'm going to hit 50 home runs this year.
I'm going to hit 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75.
I'm gonna hit 80 home runs.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
Postseason. Postemporada.
MVP.
MVP, huh?
Dynasty.
I feel sorry for the baseball.
Mike. Anything you want to say?
Just let the kids play.
Welcome back to Opening Week Baseball at ESPN. Our telecast is presented by USAA. Now, Kyle Hendricks didn't get a lot of help from the defense in the first inning, but David Ross as well. The changeup had some issues, too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're facing Kyle Hendricks, your Atlanta Braves, Kevin Seitzer, I'm sure saying he's a good changeup guy. And you see that first one in the middle, Josh Donaldson staying on that ball, and Brian McCann staying through the baseball. You know Kyle Hendricks is not going to beat you with velocity. You got to stay through the baseball and use the big side of the field, big part of the field or opposite field.
Of course, when that changeup is great, it doesn't just, it moves at the end. So I asked him once, how do you explain that? And he said it was delayed pronation. That's how he described the late movement on his changeup. Only a Dartmouth guy would explain it as delayed pronation.
No, he can cut that changeup too to righties. He'll cut that thing away when he's really locked in, and almost a cut change or sliderish.
That one slapped out towards left center. Zagunis there. Let's check in with Brick in the studio.
Boog, a check on the Reds and the Brewers. Zach Davies in a jam. 2 on, no one out, facing Yasiel Puig. But he gets Puig to ground into the 6-4-3 double play. Meanwhile, Christian Yelich 0 for 2 in his quest for a home run in a 5th straight game.
Yelich, the defending MVP. Yeah, 4 straight games with homers. As the Brewers get off to a good start in their home series against the Cardinals. Here in Atlanta, the Braves jumped out, scoring 4 times in the first, and Ciarte grounds to Rizzo, and there's 2 away.
Now that's smart pitching right there. First pitch changeup. You don't want the hitter to eliminate any pitches when you're only a 2-seam changeup kind of guy. You'll dump the breaking ball in there when you're behind the count or 0-0, but you got to get that changeup back in the hitter's mind after they take you deep on it. Nice pitch call there by Contreras.
So here's Donaldson now, singled and scored his first time up. The 2015 MVP. What are you laughing about?
I talked to Josh. We were talking Auburn basketball a little bit before the game, and I talked to him and said, hey, man, how do you feel? How's it going? And he said, oh, the body feels great. I'm just trying to become a better baseball player. Made me laugh. He's just struggling a little bit out of the first series.
Yeah, he told me in spring training when he was traded to Cleveland last year, he did okay, but he said my legs were not under me. And he said, this spring, finally, I felt like I had my legs back. And Rossi, that's critical as a hitter, especially. Right?
Especially when you're facing a guy like Kyle today. I was just thinking in those replays, Brian McCann, if you saw how much they were into their legs to stay through the baseball, Josh Donaldson into his legs to give him that extra link through the zone with the bat. That's so critical when you got a guy with such great off speed like Kyle.
2-1 down. Donaldson now at 33 years old. They're going to need him to produce, play good defense over there at third. Back up the middle, and that's a base hit. Bodie, who was shaded up the middle, wasn't able to come up with it, and Donaldson is 2 for 2. A reminder still to come tonight. Giants taking on the Dodgers in L.A. Justin Turner and Brandon Crawford squaring off in that one. It's Pomerantz and Urias. Dave Fleming, Eduardo Perez will have the call.
You know, Rossi, it's so funny about baseball players wondering, you know, can I still play the game? You know, Anthony Rizzo told me in spring training right at the beginning, he said, now I got 42 days to convince myself that I could still play, because you're never quite sure in this sport because it's so difficult to play.
I remember starting to play catch in the offseason every year, and the first couple throws, you're like, well, that's it. He's not coming. She's not coming back. My right arm has just not got it anymore.
Sees the shift with Freeman. That's Baez out into shallow right field. And the breaking ball misses.
Like, listen to Freddie Freeman in spring training talking about locking in his A-hack. His comfort zone was left center, and all spring training, all he's trying to do is drive the ball to that left center gap. That's such a great approach.
Well, he has put together some unique statistics. How about last 3 seasons? Look at this. 2 guys, Freddie Freeman and Mike Trout, each of the last 3 years have hit at least 300, at least a 380 OBP, at least a 500 slug. Only 2 guys have done that every year, each of the last 3 years. Freddie and Trout. Hendricks gets him there, and Freeman is down on strikes. Braves still lead it. It's 4-0.
I'm feeling good.
Make the most of your business card with Vistaprint.
I'm feeling good.
500 standard cards start at just $9.99 with code BC now.
I'm feeling good.
Own the now with Vistaprint.
Tanner again from downtown.
It feels like everyone's downtown, Ken, and with such a vibrant restaurant and art scene, who can blame them? You know, I wandered into a tapas restaurant the other night, ordered 3 of those small plates. That was not enough. So then I got 9. It was too much. But, you know, I paid for it, so I ate it all.
Just okay is not okay, whether it's announcers or wireless networks. AT&T is America's best wireless network, according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
You know I got it too. All I ask and do is fall in the
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to have my seat?
R-E-S-P-C-T. Find out what it means to me.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Wondering how they harness a rattlesnake's bite to create Taco Bell's new rattlesnake fries? You can stop. It's just a metaphor. The nacho fries you love, loaded with marinated steak and creamy jalapeno sauce. New steak rattlesnake fries, only at Taco Bell.
Here's to chrome. This kind of chrome, that kind of chrome. Chrome here, chrome there. Chrome by the inch, chrome by the yard. Now there's a unique sprayable quick polish to clean and protect any chrome surface with ease. Mother's California Gold All Chrome. Just spray, wipe, and buff your way to a brilliant shine. All Chrome from Mother's.
So I can buy from Enterprise Car Sales, and you'll take any trade-in.
That's right.
Great. There you go.
Well, it does need to be a vehicle.
But I need this out of my house. With fair, transparent value for every trade-in, Enterprise makes it easy.
Major League Baseball at ESPN is presented by USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Newcomb back to work as Almora fouls one off. 0-1 on the leadoff man. It'll be Almora Bryant and Rizzo, John Chomby, Tim Kirkchin, and David Ross here in Atlanta.
And Rossi was just noticing the retired numbers for the Braves up there on the left field scoreboard out there. And it's Phil Niekro's birthday today. He's 80 years old today, number 35.
Happy birthday.
One of the great Braves ever. Phil Niekro won his 300th game, and in that game, he threw one knuckleball. It was the last pitch of the game because he wanted to prove he could pitch a game without throwing a knuckleball, and the last pitch he threw was to Jeff Burroughs, who swung and missed, and he got a shutout. He's the oldest pitcher ever to pitch a shutout.
Wow.
That's Phil Niekro. And Phil Niekro, by the way, his brother Joe batted 1,200 times in the big leagues. He hit one career homer, and he hit it off his brother, Phil.
Really?
Yep.
That is great.
That's tremendous. See Almora wearing that C-flap. More and more hitters wearing that device that covers part of the face and jaw area. That one up the middle. Albies. And there's one out. Well, a reminder, we'll be back here on Wednesday as the Cubs and the Braves go at it again, 7 Eastern. Also available on the ESPN app. You can watch from anywhere. The guy that, well, that David Ross used to yell at all the time, John Lester, will be pitching for the Chicago Cubs. Julio Teheran will go for the Atlanta Braves.
I think John Lester yelled at David Ross a few times.
He definitely yelled at me a lot more than I yelled at him.
That
for sure.
Really? Is that really true? You really think that's true?
No, that's
Be
not
honest.
True. No, that's not
That's
true.
not true.
That's
Okay.
not true.
Yeah.
Listen, if he wasn't any
truth
good,
tree. We're in the truth tree.
Listen, if he wasn't any good, I didn't get to play. They pinch hit for me when he came out of the game. So I'm like, hey, you need to be good. I want my at bat.
I need
like
at bats.
I like to try to hit.
I like to hit. It's fun. Hitting's fun.
I used to tell that. Like, he's like, why are you yelling at me? He says, I like to hit. Joe will pinch hit for me if you come out of the game.
That's perfect.
Even in the American League when we were there, John Farrell would pinch hit for me too. Yeah, it didn't matter.
I've had enough of you. I hear you, Joe. Pinch hit for him. That's right. Lester doesn't have it. Rossi, beat it.
Oh, you're so mean to me, Boog.
I'm not, David. I love you, buddy.
It's a love-hate thing.
It's not.
Bryant will take his base, so a double and now a walk. And with one out, a man aboard for Rizzo. For Newcomb, that's the third walk that he has issued. It's a guy that came within a strike of authoring a no-hitter last year in late July against the Dodgers. One strike away. And Tim, it underlines what you said, how good his stuff is.
Oh, my goodness. And the first half of last year, he nearly made the All-Star team. I mean, let's not forget, when he's right, he is really difficult to square up.
With Rizzo up here, as he is used to seeing, they have the shift on, so there's that big hole on the left side. Donaldson, the only defender.
He attempted 2 bunts the other day. Same at bat, 1-0 pitch, 1-1 pitch, missed them both, and ended up making.
That will be foul. But it was clobbered. The Rizzo is used to seeing the shift. For a lot of guys, I think the one thing, look, you know, you guys both know that I'm
crazy.
Well, there's that. I'm a nerd, and I like the numbers, but there is a component of it that you can't quantify, and that is the psychological effect. I'll give you an example of it. I said to Brian McCann one of the years he was in New York, and I asked him, you know, what's going on with you this year offensively? He said, man, the shift is killing me. He's like, I think I've lost about 20, 25 hits. And when I went to one of the data places that estimates how many hits lost, it was more like 6.
Yeah.
And but the point is, if it starts to feel like it's 20 or 25, you get up there and it must feel like there's a defender everywhere you hit the ball.
I can't remember what year it was. It was either 11 or 12. My last few years here were.
Nice job by McCann holding on to that foul tip.
Brian McCann was a, 6-time Silver Slugger, and you see real quick, Nice breaking ball here from Newcomb. The two-strike approach from Rizzo just swings and miss and tips maybe that a little bit we thought we heard, but Brian McCann holds on to that for a strikeout.
But what do you remember?
But Brian McCann, they started shifting real heavily, either 11 or 12, and I saw a guy that was a 20 home run guy every year and around 300 hitter that just continued to hit rocket after rocket into that shift, and I thought he should be hitting like 400. That ball's hit hard.
Yeah, that is a topspin forehand out into left center field, and Brian will stop at third. Baez with the.
But he started hitting just hard hit ball after hard hit ball right into the shift, and it just, you could see mentally was beating him up, and I was like, this guy, we're in the first 2-3 weeks and he should be hitting like 400 and he's not. And I saw it beat him down pretty good that year, and he was trying to make some adjustments, and you know, it kind of messes with your brain and scrambles your brain, like you said, Boog.
Oh, you're seeing more and more teams go with the shift. It's grown and grown and grown, and especially against the right-handed hitters. You know, now, I mean, Rossi, when you broke into the majors, you might see a shift against a big left-handed hitting thumper, but in today's world, if you're right-handed and your tendency is to pull the ball on the ground, they will shift you just as much as if you're a lefty.
No doubt. I'm kind of glad they didn't figure that out. I got a couple hits still to the left side. I mean, I don't know how many balls. I was terrible hitting the ball the other way, especially on the ground. If I hit the ball the other way and tried to go the other way, I usually hit it in the air. So, I mean, it's hard to change your approach. I've really seen a conscious effort from these hitters so far. I know it's early in the season, but they seem to be using the opposite field a lot more in their approach of what I've seen so far in Major League Baseball, just in general, watching.
You think that right now, and Tim, what's your observational thought in terms of guys trying to avoid the strikeout and make more contact?
At least half the teams I saw this spring made a concerted effort.
In the dirt,
Nice
McCann
dirt
will
ball
watch Baez sprint down to second on the wild pitch.
Underrated right there. The first and third situation, ball in the dirt. The catcher's not going to throw the ball to second there. Change up here from Newcomb. Nice block here by McCann, but a heads up middle infielder and Javi Baez, who's a great base runner. This is a tough play on this catcher to get up and throw that guy out, especially with a runner at third. You don't want that run to score. You get pretty much a free base.
A wild pitch and textbook block there from McCann. Braves lead at 4-0. John Shambi, Tim Kirkjian, and David Ross.
So to finish, Boog, half the teams I took are making a concerted effort to change the approach of a lot of hitters, put the ball in play, go the opposite field, because they realize now with last year more strikeouts than hits for the first time ever, they are overmatched against so many pitchers today that the way they're going at it simply isn't working, and they have to try something else because they have no choice. The level of pitching that these guys see today is like no other time in the history of baseball. We've never had this many hard throwers, never had this many guys. Look at this. And this is where the hitters are saying they're better than us right now, and we better make an adjustment or they're going to continue to beat us.
Hitting's always been really hard. It's harder than ever right now. It's extremely hard with the information and the velocity these pitchers throw in. The secondary stuff that the bullpen guys have is just, it boggles my mind how anybody gets a hit anymore. But I tell you what, I was in Cubs camp, as you mentioned, and Joe Madden set up the small ball machine, which is about a little bit bigger than a golf ball and smaller than a baseball, and they're the same weight. And he would put the machine nice and close, and he would have, it was calling it situational opportunities, and making guys, or not making guys, but having guys barrel up the small ball and try to put the ball in play and move the baseball and put them in certain scenarios so that when these game situations came in, they were better prepared for it.
That's through there for a strike to Bodie, who singled his first time up. All loaded up, but there are 2 outs. Curveball missing. Bryant, the runner, at third. Baez out there at second. And Contreras, the runner, at first. Newcomb has had issue with command. He's walked 4. Bodie an opportunity to get the Cubs on the board. A For the Cubs so far this year, I mean, again, this is game 4, but through 3 games, over half of their plate appearances came with men on base. A lot of traffic.
That pitch right there shows you how great of stuff of Newcomb has, how good and electric his stuff is. A hitter's count with the bases loaded, you know it's 2-1. He's got to sell out, and he's still a little tardy. David Bodie is trying to make sure to get a good pitch to drive.
So what do you throw here?
I'm throwing a fastball, 2-2 count, a guy that struggles. I don't want to get to 3-2. I'm going fastball middle in.
There we go. It was up and away, even though McCann was looking in. By the way, as far as that stat, the Cubs over 53% of their plate appearances so far this year. The first 3 games coming with runners on base. Tonight, 9 of their first 14 plate appearances with men on base. Bodie back in.
I like this aggressiveness 2-2. 2-2 is always, you got the hitter still a little bit in between. Even though the bases are loaded, you got the hitter a little bit more in protect mode. If you get to 3-2, you can throw a little bit of off speed because hitters tend to think they get the leverage back in 3-2, which isn't always the situation, or isn't always the case.
Tried to get him to chase Wes Parsons, non-drafted player. The Braves signed in 2013. He was part of the Braves bullpen. The carousel will be on the move. To third, Donaldson steadies and throws him out. Bodie just beaten by the throw as he hustled down to first. Make sure he's okay. Bang, bang at first. Cubs leave him loaded, still 4-0.
What comes with a $1 soft drink from McDonald's? $1 any size soft drink. Joy included.
My man, we're a lot alike. Just 2 dudes getting paid to do what we love. Only difference is you never get booed. And of course the salaries. Mainly the salaries. Try investing with E-Trade. They make it easy to get started without all the typical finance jargon. That's the spirit. Keep on smiling.
Don't get mad. Start investing with E-Trade.
Who? MLB fans. What? Need more accuracy in the game. But how? Backed by AWS, StatCast AI uses a missile radar system. That wasn't just a strike, Chief. It was a strike with a spin rate of 2,335 RPMs, dropping knowledge like a baseball bounce. With the most functionality and experience, AWS is how companies like Major League Baseball build on.
What comes with a $1 soft drink from McDonald's? $1 any size soft drink. Joy included.
John Brickley in the studio. Rays looking for a 4th straight win, taking on the Rockies. Brandon Lau with a runner on takes Chad Bettis out of the park. Rays now a 3-0 lead, bottom 4, team that could make the postseason, maybe in the wild card. Yankees, Tigers, we'll get to that in a moment. First, Rangers and Astros. George Springer with a leadoff home run, the 25th of his career. That is the most in the last 5 seasons. Astros on top of the Rangers. And the Yankees home run derby continuing thus far. This time, Brett Gardner with his first home run of the season. Yankees have stretched out their lead on Detroit 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th, Boog.
Gardy goes Yardy.
25 leadoff homers.
Right? How awesome is that? Like
Ricky Henderson at 82. Good luck.
I mean, let's keep it positive. I don't know why he.
Jeez, right? Jeez, so aggressive, Tim.
We don't have to go right to negative town.
Right. I mean,
just let him enjoy it. Just let him enjoy it for the night.
Trying to explain how great Ricky Henderson was.
I get it, but like, you know, let Gardy feel good for a second. Ooh. That is hammered. Acuna feels good, deep and gone. He is impressive.
He hit 8 leadoff homers in games last year, and here he leads off an inning with a homer, and that was a rocket.
I was just about to say I love him in the leadoff spot for this reason right here. That changeup again for Kyle. Just sinking a little run to that. Acuna looked really comfortable his first at bat. Watch how simple he is with those hands. They go directly to the ball. There's not a lot of movement, and he's got such a great lower half. That ball is tattooed.
He is something else. Here's Markakis now. What a season Nick Markakis put together last year. An all-star for the first time in his career.
For me, one of the more underrated guys that I've ever played against. Tough at bat every time he steps in the box. He's a guy you hate seeing come to the plate in a big situation. He was leading off for Baltimore when I was in Boston. Lets the ball get really deep. He's spread out, a very simple approach. Will hit the ball to all field and has power. Great player.
Real steadying presence in that clubhouse as well. They, you know, look, they made the determination that they wanted to bring him back, and he wanted to be back. The Marlins offered twice as much money, and he said, no, you know what? I'll stay put.
Says a lot about the environment here in Atlanta.
And he took some heat for that, Boog, but he said, no, wait a minute. I got a chance to play for $6 million for a really good team here in the place where my family lives, in a place where I'm really comfortable. How is that a bad move for me? It was a great move for him.
That's the choice that you want as a player.
Whacks that one out into right center field. Almora over to cut it off. Markakis to second. There's the throw. Tag. Out at second. Heck of a play. Albert Almora Jr., one of the top center field defenders in baseball a season ago, with a nice play. And Baez putting down the tag.
This is a great throw. Markakis had just a tiny hesitation, but Almora, who is their best defensive center fielder, throws a strike. And, of course, the best tagger in the game, Javi Baez, applies the tag for a beautiful 8-6 here.
Inciarte and Kane were the two elite guys. In fact, Kane was number one. Inciarte was behind him, but Almora was tied for third in the majors in defensive runs saved. That's amongst center fielders. That's ripped to right. Hayward dives and makes the grab.
Speaking of defensive runs saved.
Wow.
He's got a couple goal ones over there in right field. Maybe one of the best right fielders I've played with. Him and Victorino. This guy can go get it. He knows the game. You see the jump he gets here. Watch him get low. Look how low he gets. For such a big guy, he gets his eyeballs on level with the baseball. Gets down there and a nice, easy dive for Jason Hayward. Does that a lot.
5 gold gloves, and since 2014, only Betts in right field has been better. And those guys, I mean, both of those guys are special defensively.
Yeah, they are.
Brian McCann got a nice hand as he made his way to the plate. 7-time All-Star Brian McCann was here in Atlanta from 2005 through 2013.
All-Star MVP, Silver Sluggers. He was a stud. It was fun to watch him go to work every day, sit in the bench, just learning. I learned so much from this guy and his catching ability. We used to talk about, you know, pitch calling so much. We used to have a little late night. We'd go back to his room, order room service, and talk baseball. And he would talk about, I used to wonder, like, oh, man, this guy was sitting all over this pitch. And we'd be like, no, he wasn't. He was too young. He doesn't think like that. Or Albert Pujols crushed one of the guys. How did he hit that ball? Well, he's probably looking spin right there. I would be looking spin. He called a game like a great hitter he was, which taught me a lot because I wasn't a great hitter. I learned so much from him.
Rizzo bobbles it and throws it away. And throws it into the dugout, and McCann will get second. It has been a defensive disaster tonight for the Cubs. A couple of nice plays, but wow, is the bad defense been on display.
Right. This is going to be 2 errors on this play, I'm sure. One to allow him to get to first, and then a second one to allow him to get to second. And Rossi, this again drives Joe Madden crazy.
Well, this is very uncharacteristic.
It's driving her crazy as well, by the way. She is not enjoying it.
Did not pay all this money to see this.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Oh,
okay. Touche.
So Dansby, Swanson now. Swanson grounded to short. Kid who grew up rooting for the Braves. He was the first overall pick by the Diamondbacks in 2015 and then acquired in a trade by the Braves, and he was delighted. Back home, he's a star at Vanderbilt, and right here is a chance to add to a 5-0 lead with McCann at second. It's funny because he grew up a big Nomar Garcia Parra fan, because around the time when he was coming up, Nomar was here at Georgia Tech and then eventually went on to the Red Sox, and that was his due.
That's pretty cool. I remember watching Nomar. I live in Tallahassee, Florida, where FSU is, and Nomar would come in. Jason Varitek was on that team. They had some studs that came in to Tallahassee and showed what good college baseball looked like. It was impressive.
A swing and a miss. Swanson down on strikes, and the inning is over. Braves add a run. It's 5-0.
With no choice but to move back home after college, they thought he'd be a little more motivated to find a job. Turns out, they were right.
This is Nelson, the volunteer who puts care into everything he does. We asked him to put our hydrating body wash to the test.
After a long day, it's really important to have body wash that's cleansing and hydrating for my skin.
Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash rinses clean and rehydrates.
Hey, what did I come in here for again? Diapers. Diapers. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, the cart. I almost hit a woman.
We need a better Mom? Network.
Ooh, that is a bad one.
Where did I go?
Ooh, that's not good.
Don't worry. With Boost, you get a super reliable, super fast nationwide network. Really?
Yeah, plus 4 lines, each with unlimited gigs for $100 a month.
Time for a switch? Oh, I'm back.
No more resting glitch face.
How's this space? Switch to Boost and get 4 lines, each with unlimited gigs for $100 a month. Plus, get 4 free LG Stylo 4 phones, all on Boost's super reliable, super fast nationwide network.
I'm Paige, and well, the little thing that I like about the grilled chicken sandwich is that it's picture perfect. It's juicy, and it just has all the right combinations. I think I can be considered a grilled chicken sandwich influencer.
My name is Frank, and the little thing I like about the grilled chicken sandwich is the first bite. I love how juicy the chicken is, but there's also the tomatoes and the lettuce, and it's incredible. Make sure you get it with waffle fries, because that's my favorite.
Major League Baseball and ESPN, presented by USAA, is brought to you by Lilly Diabetes. We head to the fourth, 5-0 Atlanta. Earlier today, the former teammates, the catchers, catching up. David Ross, Brian McCann.
Crazy journey here. Awesome years here in Atlanta. You go away, sign a big contract. Yankees win a World Series in Houston. Now you're back. What's it like to be back?
Words don't even describe what this feels like, because when I didn't know what was going to happen this offseason, and to come home, sleep in my own bed, and play for a team like this in front of these fans. I mean, you know, when you were here for those 4 or 5 years, there's not a better place to play than here.
You've had a crazy long career and came up with guys like John Smoltz. What have you learned that's important in the game and how the game's changed for you in such a long time? You're back, you've got some young guys you're playing with. Right. Tell me about the difference in players in the game a little bit now, what you learned.
The game is 100% changed since I first came in, but the one thing that hasn't is whoever executes the best is going to win. So if you strip it all down, that's the name of this game, and it'll be that way forever. But I mean, obviously the analytics and diving deeper into hitters, and it's more so now than ever before. But I mean, the game is still won by who executes the most.
All right, a little fun one for you. Colt McCann goes deep his first at bat.
Can't hang it to him. Can't hang it to the 6-year-old. He'll take you deep.
Bro, it was awesome. You showed me the video. How proud were you?
I was in tears. We hit every day for like 12 days down in spring training when they were down there, and he's turning it on. He loves it. He loves baseball, and that was a proud moment for me.
All right, big night tonight, opening night, Braves, you're back, hometown hero. I mean, all the awards you've received. What do you expect tonight from the fans?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to be home. I want to get a win. That's the most important thing. But just to come back, suit up again here, means the world to me.
Good stuff.
That was so cool for me. I mean, our relationship started so early. One of the first games in Philadelphia, we had the post-game spread first night, and he's like, I don't really like this stuff. I was like, yeah, me either. He's like, I'll order room service at my room. You want to come by? I'm like, yes, I do. From then on out, it was the thing we did, man. We would go back after the game and hang out and talk pitching and catching. I learned so much from that human being, the way he treats people, the way he lifts guys up, the leadership qualities he has. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that guy.
Rossi, you were pretty good those years in Atlanta, huh?
I did. Well, I didn't have to play that much. I didn't get overexposed. I had an all-star in front of me, perennial all-star every year, and silver slugger every year. It was pretty easy for me to hide under the radar and get a couple knocks every once in a while.
Were you guys good friends right from the jump?
Yeah, it was one of those things. I feel like it was a brother from another mother. You know what I mean? He's that guy for me. He was the quality human being he is, and how positive he is, and the way he delivers messages. I learned so much that I took to other teams after I left here. It is strictly because of number 16 down there. He is, we call him 1-6, man. He is such a special human being. I can't say enough good things. I don't have the words.
And when he went to the minor leagues a couple of years ago on a rehab, he came back and said it really invigorated him about being back in the big leagues, spending time in the minor leagues, when he said, I remember what I was like in the minor leagues. Like, all I wanted to do was get to the big leagues, and I saw the hunger in all those kids' eyes. That meant something to him when he went back for a short rehab time.
I asked him one time, you ever get tired of, like, you don't get your all-star break, you make the all-star team every year, get a little bit of rest. I was just thinking, like, like, once you've done it for like 6 times, you're like, oh, maybe I would rather have. He's like, if you ever get tired of going to the all-star game, you're an idiot. And I'm like, great point, Brian, great point.
Like Rossi was telling us, when he was afraid to go to the mound, Brian McCann was, when John Smoltz was out there. I asked him about it today, and he goes, I was 20 years old. I was scared to death of him.
And eventually, he had to go out to the mound. It was 3 starts. The 4th start, Smoltz went and covered first, and they're yelling at him to the dugout. They're pointing and doing, go out there, go talk to him. So he looks into the dugout, and they point, and they say, go talk to him. So he goes out to the mound, and then he just like looks down at his feet and waits, doesn't say anything to Smoltz, and then turns around and goes back behind the plate. Now, the best part is he calls Jeff Francoeur, his buddy, who was at Double-A that night, and he said, I went to the mound tonight. I went and visited.
Oh, man. Those mound visits for veterans are scary. I had to go once, Kevin Brown.
There's Frenchie right there.
There he is.
They were 1-2 in the draft in 2002. Jeff Francoeur was a first-round pick out of the greater Atlanta area. Brian McCann was the second-round pick in 2002. And they were, and still are, really good friends.
Called them the Baby Braves. They had a good
Kelly Johnson.
Kelly Johnson, yep. I mean, they had some horses here, some good young talent.
What did Kevin Brown say when you went
Oh,
to
my
the
gosh. I was so scared. Kevin Brown, I'm starting in Montreal. Kevin Brown goes, doing really good, my first career start. And he goes ball one, ball two. Guy got on first. We're up 2 runs. Man on first, 1 out. And he slide steps. And then he slide steps. And he goes ball one, ball two. And I'm going, I should probably go talk to him and tell him, you know, hey, you don't need to slide step. I can throw a little bit. And I'm debating in my mind. And finally, I'm like, forget it. I'm going out there. So I run out there. I'm like, Mr. Brown, I know you don't know me, but I can really throw.
Mr. Brown.
I can throw. I can catch. I can really, really throw. Don't worry about it. You don't need to slide step. And he goes, okay. And literally, I turn around on the way back. I'm like, oh, God, please don't go. Please don't run. Please don't run. Next pitch, 2-seamer, ground ball, double play. I was so fired up. Boy. I was like, thank goodness. Thank goodness. You don't want Kevin Brown mad at you, that's for sure.
Did you play with Robin Ventura?
I did.
Because he was wondering what color that jacket is. He just texted me.
Tell him that's baby blue. My mom likes it. It matches my eyes.
Markakis pulls it down.
I mean, I look amazing. I mean, the tie, the baby blue, the ploach is what Ron Ventura called himself, the ploach. He was the player coach. The
ploach?
The ploach. He was the player coach in my career.
Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard the ploach?
No.
I've never heard that.
I use that. But my mom sent me a text earlier, Robin, that said she loves my outfit. The coat really brings out the blue in my eyes. So there you go, my mom.
What I have heard a lot is Rossi looking at me saying, Tim, I'm a pretty big deal, you know. Thank you, Rossi. We weren't sure.
Oh, enough about me. Let's talk about me.
Yes. What do you think about me? Here's Almora now.
So Robin Ventura rushed the mound against Nolan Ryan that time, and he told me it's because it hurt so much I couldn't see clearly. But I got halfway to the mound, and I realized, oh, my God, I'm charging the mound against Nolan Ryan, but I couldn't turn around, so I had to keep going. And then he hit me in the head a bunch of times.
He's one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I was on a team with Robin Ventura, manager, Dave Roberts, manager, Alex Cora, manager, Adrian Beltre,
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. I mean, I was on, like, all on, and I'm a rookie just soaking all that in. Really cool. Cool team.
And you went on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, I don't know where my career path went wrong.
Pretty good career, brother.
Robin taught me some good dance moves.
Oh, there's that old school White Sox lid. I like that. 2 down, man at first. Braves leading 5-0. Got 4 in that first inning. That's served out into left. Acuna will pick it up. Almora with his first hit. Folks, tomorrow on ESPN Plus, the World Series champion Red Sox in Oakland to take on the A's, 10 Eastern. You can start your free trial now by downloading the app or going to ESPNplus.com so you can watch from anywhere.
So really big at bat now for Chris Bryant, who has really swung the bat well. That shoulder is healed, Rossi. You could see it. I watched him 2 games in Texas. He's driving that ball to right center. Rossi, when that front shoulder is weak or it's sore, you can hit that way, right?
You don't want to extend, right? We want to keep that bat in the zone as long as we possibly can. You're scared to get fooled out in front because that's going to bite you, that pinch in that shoulder when he lets it go. He has such a long finish out front that it definitely hindered him last year.
Now, are those pink glasses a new thing for him during night games?
Javi's wearing some. I thought the same thing. I need to ask him about that. We'll get back to it on Wednesday, but he was wearing those the other day. Javi had some clear ones the other day at night.
Those are like the ones, though, when you go to the dentist and they give you, so that the
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about, Boo.
What do you mean?
You mean when you whiten your teeth? I don't.
No, I mean I just had a filling redone. And they put orange glasses on me.
I think you're talking about the teeth whitening you went and had.
Well,
I'm not a cosmetic kind of type guy.
No.
He told me, Chris Bryant told me he had to slow down in the rehab of his left shoulder because it was getting so much stronger than his other shoulder. He said that's how good it feels when I asked him that in spring training.
Did you see I mentioned the C-flap device? Bryant wears that. It's softly to short, gathered in, Swanson, and that is the inning. Well, Brian McCann back home in Atlanta. How about this? Yeah. Little baby Brian McCann with John Smoltz. Mr. Smoltz, will you sign?
Yeah.
Lobster Fest is on at Red Lobster with the most lobster dishes of the year, like Lobster Lover's Dream and new Ultimate Lobster Fest Surf and Turf. So come Lobster Fest today. And now, for a limited time, get 10% off Red Lobster to go.
What if they sold tires online?
We do. We're TireRack.com.
They could offer lots of tires and help you find the right tire.
It's called the Tire Decision Guide.
Oh, and they could ship them to a nearby mechanic.
We shipped over 7,000 independent recommended installers.
This is an amazing idea.
Sorry.
Right now, you can get this special offer when you buy a set of 4 select hand-cooked tires. For details, go to TireRack.com/handcookoffer. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Lobster Fest is on at Red Lobster with the most lobster dishes of the year, like Lobster Lover's Dream and new Ultimate Lobster Fest Surf and Turf. So come Lobster Fest today. And now, for a limited time, get 10% off Red Lobster to go.
Pet Sematary is one of the best Stephen King movies ever.
It brings things back.
Are you happy, Mommy?
It's a deeply sinister nightmare. Pet Sematary, directed by Kevin Kelch and Dennis Whitmire. Rated R.
Hi, I'm Brad, and my favorite treat is Crunch.
Delicious 100% real chocolate embracing the lightness of crispy rice. Crunch, the chocolate bar all Americans love.
Wendy's Biggie Bag, huh?
It's everything you ever wanted for just $5.
Everything I ever wanted?
That's right. A bacon double stack with a quarter pound of fresh beef, nuggets, fries, and a drink for just $5. Wendy's Biggie Bag is everything you ever wanted.
John Brickley in our Baseball Tonight studios. An update on the Rockies and the Rays. Nolan Arenado, who signed that 8-year, $260 million contract extension in the offseason, getting Colorado on the board with the base hit. 3-1, though. Rays lead the Rockies, Boog.
All right, there you go. John Brickley in our studio. A little bit cool here tonight. It was 58 degrees at first pitch. We were in Philadelphia last night. Sunday night baseball. First pitch is about 52 degrees. Got down to, I don't know, about 44.
So, Boog, I saw the Braves in spring training this year, and I went to the clubhouse, and the incredibly kind, friendly, respectful security guard took one look at me, and I pulled out my pass to show it to him. And he said, no, you don't have to show me your pass. I know who you are. I've been watching you and reading you for years. It's great to see you, Peter.
Peter Cameron.
It was so beautiful. He was so nice. He was so respectful. He was so happy to meet me, and then he thought I was Peter.
I loved you in the Boston Globe.
Man.
I was in college. I read your notes column every Sunday.
That may be the funniest story so far this year. What did you do?
Oh, I just thanked him.
You waved and, yeah.
Thanks. Of course, I'm thrilled.
Thanks. Oh.
You don't need to show me that.
No.
Oh, that's
appreciate that, Mr. Gammons.
Had somebody walk in the hall like, good luck tonight, Mr. Lester. On the way here.
I'll give you want a worse one? Game 1 of the World Series last year, I was not, this is third party, but it has been verified. Shulman's walking into Fenway Park. Excuse me, Mr. Shambi, would you sign? And Shulman says, wait a second, who do you think I am? And he goes, Boog Shambi? And Shulman looks at him and goes, I'm Dan Shulman. And the guy goes, I always get you guys confused.
What?
Really?
That's a tough one there.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Ooh. Poor Dan.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
I'm right here.
I'm
right here.
I thought I said that in my head. Oh, my goodness.
Here's Donaldson down. Donaldson, who has singled twice. 2 down, bases empty. Don't look at my card. I didn't write it down either.
3U.
WW.
Wasn't watching.
They get the shift on Donaldson. This guy who really blossomed into MVP form. He did it in an interesting way. He went to school, redid his swing, got that leg kick going, but he poured over hours of videotape of Jose Bautista and Miguel Cabrera. That's how he did it. And it had a great line for me. It was in Oakland in 11 and 12. He said he looked at Bautista because they had similar bodies, but he wasn't as much a pull guy as Bautista, and Cabrera because he'd hit the ball the other way. And again, the setups, it's not identical in any way, but Donaldson felt like Bautista was similar in terms of their body type, so they could do similar things. They do have the similar leg kick, but the approach with Cabrera thinking right center was one that Donaldson could relate to. But Josh said that in Oakland, he got into trouble with the Oakland people. They would say, hey man, hit like you, stop watching everybody else. And Josh said to me, I would tell them, well, I stink and I need to figure out why they're good, so I'm going to keep watching them.
I think he figured it out because he's really good.
As we know, he was also a catcher who turned himself into a pretty darn good third baseman.
Yes, yes he did. I used to love why. I mean, he came up with one of the coolest things. We were playing Oakland one day and we were talking about the shift, and he used to play left, kind of that deep shortstop position, but he would sprint in on David Ortiz every once in a while just in case, to give that guy, hey, I may run in here if you want to think about bunting. I'm ready for it.
Guys, you ready for promo 4?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
SportsCenter tonight, after Giants and Dodgers, Linda Cohn, Neil Everett, Eduardo Perez joins the show with his early season takeaways inside Devin Booker's incredible scoring streak. And hear from Odell Beckham Jr. at Browns Camp. SportsCenter, 1 a.m. Eastern, ESPN and ESPN the app.
Well done.
Thank you. Here's Freddie Freeman now. I'm going to sit down with Freddie and Jason Hayward on Wednesday and have a little chat with those two guys. Those two are great, great friends. Talk all the time.
That's a must watch right there. Those two guys sit down together. That'll be fun.
Greg Walker, former hitting coach for the Braves, told me once that Freddie Freeman was the most low-maintenance great hitter he's ever been around. Like, you didn't have to mess around with Freddie. Freddie knew what he needed to do, and he didn't need much help from the hitting coach, and he would just do his thing.
I always thought that, I had Walk here, and I always thought the same thing. The great hitters on the team don't really need the hitting coach. It's guys like me that need the hitting coach, you know? I don't know why they hire the hitting coach depending on the great hitters. They don't need it.
In the air left field, Segunas over near the stand, slowing down and squeezes it with 2 hands. Freeman retired. We're headed to the 5th in Atlanta.
What comes with a $1 soft drink from McDonald's? $1 any size soft drink. Joy included.
Squatch. Remarkable. Pleased to meet you.
On April 12th.
I'm lonely. Can you help me find my family? We will find your place.
Hugh Jackman.
Missing link.
Zoe Saldana.
Follow me.
And Zach Galifianakis.
I think I need some air. Crack open the window. Dough. Oh, that's better.
Invite you to experience a comedy of epic proportions.
A monster! That is going to let in an awful draft.
Missing Link. Rated PG.
Belle, Vern, I'm off to college, and I'm not going to be around. I'm worried about my parents' retirement.
Oh, don't worry.
Voya helps them to and through retirement.
Dealing with today's expenses.
Like college.
While helping plan, invest, and protect for the future.
So they'll be okay. Without me?
When we knock out this wall, imagine the closet's face.
Yes. Oh, hey, son.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Voya, helping you too.
And through.
Retirement.
George has heart failure and a busy day ahead. George has Entresto, a heart failure pill that helps keep people alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
That was great.
What comes with a $1 soft drink from McDonald's? $1 any size soft drink. Joy included.
Rumor has it that if you have a clever comment, MLB will reply. Follow MLB on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Oh, I've got some clever comments. What? It'll be Rizzo, then Baez, and then Contreras. All right, so Rossi, I'm gonna ask a serious eye black question. You ready?
Yes.
So Riz puts it on. Is he wearing it? Is it just straight up, I look cool in eye black? Is it going to help him in any way with the glare, or is it like, dig me, I look kind of cool in eye black?
I think it's the dig me thing.
Okay.
I hadn't asked about it, but I'm thinking a new ballpark, great lights here. They're pretty high up. I don't think he's going to lose anything in the lights. We've got a night game. I think it's just like we got opening day in Atlanta. I want to look good. I'm on ESPN tonight. Yeah. It's a big-time game. Rossi's going to talk about me.
And I would just say this. I don't know about for you, Tim Kurkjian. Eye black is cool. I'd wear eye black in the booth. Straight up.
I would, too. Do you really think Anthony Rizzo said David Ross is going to be talking about me tonight?
Well, no, I don't, Tim. But I like to think that way. I like to think everybody's talking about me, Tim.
I love eye black, and I think it's cool.
Catchers can't ever wear eye black. I hated it because I would pull my mask down and it would like smear, and I'd look like, you know, the Road Warriors from WWF. Sure. You know, like.
The Road Warriors drop as we show you where he hits the ball. That's why they shift on him, because such a high percentage of balls go basically there. He just hit it too hard. Beat the shift that time. Oh, there's some eye black right there. I like the stick-ons, too. I'm down with that. Back to the studio. Here's Brick.
Boog, we know the NL Central is going to be a tough division to win this year. Reds and the Brewers, runners at the corners for Yasiel Puig, appropriately dressed for the Cincinnati weather. This two-run double, his first hit as a member of the Reds, gets Cincinnati within a run of Milwaukee now, 3-2 the score in the bottom of the fifth. How about Puig's former team, the Dodgers? We're going to see them go up against the Giants coming up in game number 4 of our quadruple header here on ESPN, Boog.
Yeah, it is cold in Cincinnati. And Parsons coming in. The night is over for Sean Newcomb. His Braves lead it.
So I can buy from Enterprise Car Sales, and you'll take any trade-in.
That's right.
Great. There you go.
Well, it does need to be a vehicle.
But I need this out of my house. With fair, transparent value for every trade-in, Enterprise makes it easy.
Every day, harmful contaminants embed and accumulate on the surface of your car, causing serious damage if left unattended. Car enthusiasts and professionals know there's only one way to remove these destructive elements. Mother's Clay Bar safely and effortlessly extracts these embedded contaminants. And it's as simple as spray, clay, and wipe away, leaving the surface perfectly clean, smooth as glass, ready for polishing and waxing.
Mother's Clay Bar System. More value, more clay.
Remember that degree you got in taxation? Of course you don't, because you didn't. Your job isn't understanding tax code. It's understanding why that will get him a body like that. Move! That. Your job isn't doing hard work. Here, it's making her do hard work and getting paid for it.
Snap and sort your expenses to save over $4,600 at tax time.
Jody, it's time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
March Madness got you doing the what just happened whale? Pick up a pepperoni stuffed pizzone. That's right, people. It's back. Now part of the $5 lineup from Pizza Hut. Official pizza of March Madness.
Mom, he's blinking too loud.
Sorry, is that too loud?
You don't need any more hormones in your house. That's why you chose Kraft Natural Cheese, made with fresh milk without the added hormone RBST. It's cheese, as it should be.
Back in Atlanta, Sean Newcomb, 4 innings plus a battered 91 pitches. No earned, but responsible for Rizzo, the runner at first. Parsons delivers to Baez and pumps in a strike. Last season in the minors as a starter. Sparkling ERA of 2.76. On the ground, Dansby Swanson. Albies on to Freeman. 6-4-3.
I was just going to talk about Parsons' sinker slider mix, heavy sinker slider mix, trying to get you a ground ball, and he does exactly that. That two-seamer set up a little bit of that slider coming in where Javi had to kind of bail a little bit, expecting that two-seamer again, and 6-4-3. That's a bullpen guy's dream.
Parsons made the team. He threw 15 innings this spring without allowing an earned run, struck out 17. That misses inside. Back to the studio. Hello, Brick.
Hello, Boog. Rockies and Rays and Kevin Kiermaier helping out the cause for Tampa Bay. A 3-run shot as Tampa Bay, a 5-run league. Boog, what do you think? Wild card potential?
I don't think there's any question that they have wild card potential. A number of, if you go around and ask teams internally where they have the Rays, Timmy, they have them at 90, 91 wins projected this year. So, I mean, I think standard is people think the Astros will win the West, Yankees, Red Sox, Indians win the Central, and then the other wild card, is it the Twins or the Rays?
I think it's the Rays, and the Rays really updated their pitching. They're going to go with 3 starters now and 2 openers instead of maybe 2 openers. I mean 2 starters and 3 openers. And the way Kevin Cash mixes and matches there, they're going to score some runs.
Donaldson bobbles, regathers, and then Freeman wisely comes off the base. That'll be an E5.
Don't see this too often. Getting used to this new turf. Little top spin, just maybe close the glove a little too soon. Let's see here. Tries to get to the side of it, plays it well, just doesn't get his glove down quite enough. Expected to take a little bit bigger hop off that new grass. Tries to recover, just too late.
Spoog, we did a game in Texas yesterday with new grass, and it was amazing what an adjustment those middle infielders had to make for the Rangers, knowing that this grass is so much shorter and so much faster. And they took ground ball after ground ball trying to get used to it. And it's clearly something they have to adjust to. One of those little things, which is not a little thing, that you simply can't measure in a game that we're trying to measure everything.
You're getting a different hop in spring training too, right? We're talking about different surfaces. Everybody's different. You can tell even here they've put in some new sod in places, and it takes a minute.
Well, the places that get really hot, like Florida, back in the Pro Player Stadium days, Texas, the infields, even though they were grass, would typically be lightning fast because they had to keep the grass so short. And now it's interesting going around. You're seeing some teams move back to an artificial surface. For example, the Diamondbacks, now at Chase Field, they have this new organic artificial playing surface. It's made out of like coconut husks, and that's the same stuff that Texas is going to use in their field next year.
And it really works. The technology for artificial turf now is so much better that they'll tell you that it's just as good as grass, even though it's fake grass. And
then when it's done, you can eat it. It's a protein bar. No, I was kidding. That is not true. 2 outs, man at first. Braves lead. They got 4 unearned runs in the first. Braves on top here tonight, 5-zip. The Cubs playing shaky defense. 4 errors on the night and just have not been sharp on the defensive end. Joe Madden is not used to that in terms of his team performing that poorly defensively.
Brian Butterfield, the infield guy for the Cubs and third base coach, is not going to sleep well tonight.
Back to the mound. Parsons handles. Bodie is out, and that is the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th here in Atlanta.
March Madness got you doing the what just happened wail. Pick up a pepperoni stuffed pizzone. That's right, people. It's back. Now part of the $5 lineup from Pizza Hut. Official pizza of March Madness.
We switched.
I switched.
We switched.
I switched to Chevy.
I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy.
We switched for value.
For family.
For power.
It was time to upgrade.
I switched from a Ram to a Chevy.
See why people are switching to Chevy.
We love our Chevy.
I love my Malibu, my Colorado, my Camaro.
Our Traverse. Why do we switch? Just look at it.
How do we tell people they get the best of both worlds with Sprint?
How about we get two-sport legend Bo Jackson?
So, guys, you don't need me. Just tell people they get a great network and a great price with Sprint.
Yes, you can get an unlimited plan and the super cool all-new Samsung Galaxy S10e for just $35 a month on an LTE advanced network that's up to 2 times faster than before.
Bo does know.
Switch and get an unlimited plan with the new Galaxy S10e lease included for just $35 per month. No trade-in required.
Are you mom? Get set. Let's go. It goes.
It's all right, huh?
NBA superstar.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar. Get more out of zero.
March Madness got you doing the what just happened wail. Pick up a pepperoni stuffed pizzone. That's right, people. It's back. Now part of the $5 lineup from Pizza Hut. Official pizza of March Madness.
Fans, the MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to your favorite ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. As Hendricks delivers up and in. It'll be Acuna, then Markakis, and then Albies. Acuna, who is 21, he does not turn 22 until December.
Love this side view we're showing here. Watch his hands and how simple they are. He's got straight up and down, barrel pointed up, and he's just going to load these nice and slow back and take this directly to the ball. It's so simple.
I tell you, there's a guy I see. I think the hair might have something to do with it, but at least early in his career,
slight load up and just he's tardy there, but look at that, like short to it, long through it. They talk all the time, right? I mean, that's beautiful. Who do you see?
Hanley Ramirez. Early Hanley Ramirez.
Early Hanley was an incredible hitter.
And a big lower half like rotation guy through the zone. Yeah, man, I like it.
Dan Uggla once told me Hanley's bat path is exactly the same on every single swing. And Uggla looked at me and he goes, my bat path is never the same from swing to swing. But that's how good Hanley was in his prime. Boog, that's a good call.
Most homers in a single season before turning 21. Of course, Melot 42 and 29. Tony C with 32, Al Kaline, and then Acuna with the 26 last year. Pretty incredible.
And you touched on it earlier, missing some time.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's this optical thing. I was talking about it, and again, it's subjective, but I talked about David Bodie pregame. He fits into this. These guys whose bats stay through the zone so long, it looks like they're swinging a 50-inch bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The bat looks longer. He swings through that one. For me, Carlos Beltran was one that I felt like he was swinging like a 2x4. It seemed like his bat stayed through the zone so long.
You get that feeling. Same thing when you're catching sometimes. You're like, how did this guy miss the ball? And if we hang anything through the zone, you're going to get punished for it. You see there, that bat in there just a little bit tardy on that fastball up. But that bat is in the zone a long time. You're right, Boo.
Here's Markakis now.
And then there was Tony Gwynn's bat that looked like the smallest bat ever because it was the smallest bat ever, 32 inches, 30.5 ounces. But since he had those tiny little hands, he needed a really small bat that he could control. So, Boog, you were talking about Markakis, clubhouse guy. A few years ago in Baltimore, Buck Showalter looks at him and goes, we need a ping pong table for the clubhouse here in spring training. The next day, Markakis shows up in his truck with a ping pong table in the back. He'd gone to the store, bought it himself, came in, and with the clubhouse kids, set it up in the clubhouse. And it's still a staple in the clubhouse, the ping pong table, because he knew, Markakis, that this would help us stay together.
Last year made the All-Star team for the first time in his career. I'll tell you, Tim, you love stuff like this, but if you, and I'm not trying to make the case for Nick Markakis as a Hall of Famer necessarily, but he's got a chance at 3,000 hits. I mean, if you look at the math, and Nick Markakis in his career, he's 35 years old. He will play this entire year as a 35-year-old. Nick Markakis has 2,238 hits. If he really wanted to, he's got a shot at it, and that's pretty astounding. Don't you? I mean, he's got a chance.
Yeah, I've been over this. He's got an outside shot at 3,000 hits, and then we're going to have an interesting decision because one All-Star team so far.
Yeah.
Juan Pierre, by the way, has the most hits ever and never made the All-Star team.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, that's in the All-Star game era, of course.
Of course. Oh, gosh. Timmy's not used to our ribbing.
Yeah. Fish alone and get back in touch with nature. Ontario, it's the place where muskie dreams come true. To find out more about my favorite Ontario muskie waters, check out gofishinontario.com.
This episode of Muskie Hunter is brought to you by Ontario, Canada.